Welcome, everybody, to our Owl Paradise, and welcome to the Owl family. We are thrilled to have you at our How to FAU Spring 2021 incoming students and families. Welcome to Family Success Conference. I'd like to formally introduce myself as well. My name is Danny Gutierrez. I serve as the Associate Director for New Student Transitions and Family Engagement. I am your family contact throughout today's session and moving forward through your FAU journey. Families, our goal today is to create an awareness of all the services available to your students, as well as introduce you to campus partners as they share information on career graduation planning, campus safety, having difficult discussions, and how to best connect with your student at their first year at FAU. And now I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Katie Burke, our Executive Director for New Student Transitions and Family Engagement.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, my name is Dr. Katie Burke, and I am absolutely thrilled that you have made it to the first official day of spring 2021. Amazing. With everything going on in our world right now, I can honestly say this semester you've made it here, and we are welcoming you with open arms. Well, socially distanced, of course. Students, today's aim is to build a greater confidence in your abilities to successfully access and utilize FAU resources in your personal and community development. We are connecting with you today to your student support network in safety, academics, career readiness, your first year experience, technology, finances, community building, and more. Okay, so let's get started. Please note that we will have a chat function throughout the day that you can use to text our experts regarding today's main stage session. You can click the ellipses or 3 dots to pop out the chat box for quick questions or introductions. We'll remind you about this throughout the day, but please engage with us while you're here. It will help you maximize your experience. I'd like to congratulate our students as you get ready to close out and complete your orientation experience. After today, including your successful completion of the survey, and as long as you are fully done your Canvas orientation, you are going to be OWL done with your orientation process. Some quick reminders about this experience. So virtual orientation on campus. Listen up, students. This is so important. You are required to complete the virtual orientation on Canvas prior to courses starting. Failure to complete the course will actually result in you being dropped from your spring courses. For real though, dropped from your spring courses. The final deadline was yesterday at 9 a.m. So if you have not completed your Canvas course, let us know immediately. Chances are we've tried to reach you multiple times. Today is How to FAU. This is your just-in-time extended orientation full of information ready for you to start your classes. Our team is here to assist you as you continue your transition into FAU. If there is information you need and you aren't sure where to start, well, guess what? Need help? Just ask. This is our traditional campaign that we do at the start of every single semester, and it really defines our culture here at FAU. So on Monday and Tuesday of this week, when we officially start classes, January 11th and 12th, please text us between the hours of 8 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. You can reach out about anything you might need assistance with. This includes where the physical locations of your classes are, financial aid questions, and more. We are really here for you, so if you need help, just ask. But we will remind you, please wait until Monday to text us, as the system will not be monitored until that time. Students, your FAU email is your official go-to communication tool now and moving forward. We adore that you have your iloveschmores@gmail.com email address. But from now on, we really need you to direct your focus to your FAU email and check that every single day.
Just for the record, I love s'mores just as much as everybody else. And now for our social media experts out there. Today you can follow along and post your excitement on any of our FAU social media outlets. Just tag us using @FAU Orientation and @FAU Owl Family. If you haven't already, make sure you download the Owl Ready app just to stay connected and stay on the date of all the safety and security information at FAU. You can now download it from any of your phone provider's app stores. Now, there's some business we need to take care of before we move into our next portion of the day. Most importantly, today is fundatory. That's right, we're going to have fun today. So please remember to ask questions. In the main stage, utilize the chat function directly below the main stage. Now, during the Family Success Conference and students, during resource and closing sessions, you can use the Zoom chat. Advice for families and students, just try to scroll up and down and see if your question hasn't already been answered yet before you ask. Being behind a screen is sometimes a little hard to connect, so take what you need to in terms of stretch breaks or even note-taking. If disconnected, folks, you can connect to NSTFE's office at 561-297-2733 or email us at howtofau@fau.edu. Be open to new ideas, and most of all, have fun. For students who attend virtual orientation, please review Dean Pratt's remarks on the bottom of the event page. Once you watch his remarks, you can receive your freshman cord. That's right, your very own cord. Please follow the instructions to pick up your cord during the first week of the semester.
Students and families, we will be together from now until we get to the point where we officially dismiss the families. We're considering this part of the program the main stage, and we have a lot of fun coming up for both our students and families. Once families transition, students will stay put at the main stage to learn about the first year checklist and student technology. So that'll be from about now until 1:35. At 1:35, students will have their first transition away from the main stage to their resource breakout session. And Allison, my dear colleague, will talk about how you do that in just a little bit. That resource breakout session will take place from 1:40 to 2:10. Then at 2:15, we begin our closing session and our survey portion of the day.
And for our families, we will stay with the students for the main stage presentations, then break off into our Family Success Conference. Below the live stream you are currently viewing, you can click on the Family Success Conference at 12:50. The login passwords are located beside the link for easy access. Now, for some reason, if you lose the website you are at today, you can always return the original email that you received yesterday and today just to log back in. During the Family Success Conference, you'll hear from our partners with the Career Center, Financial Aid, and our Office of Family Engagement.
Today is packed full of information. Please be encouraged that our new student transitions and family engagement team, your orientation leaders, as well as many other amazing campus partners are here for you throughout your transition to university life and while you're an OWL. Please contact us and we will do our very best to connect you with the people or things you need to be successful. Now, I have the pleasure of introducing you to our FAU student body president, Celine Persad, with an important message to protect our OWL family.
Hi OWLs, my name is Celine Persad and I currently serve as your student body president. As COVID-19 cases are on the rise, we all have a duty to protect ourselves and our fellow OWLs. Here at FAU, we prioritize student safety and are taking all measures possible to ensure that we are keeping our OWL family safe.
I wear a mask too.
Keep 561 a healthy one.
Protect healthcare workers, first responders, the immunocompromised, and our buddy Owlsley.
To get back to visiting friends and family.
Decrease the spread of COVID-19 to ensure that my friends, family, and fellow OWLs remain safe and healthy.
Hi, my name is Jack Agar, and I'm the governor here at the Boca Raton campus. We have amazing amenities here, like the all-night study and the campus rec, which we want to be available to you, but safety is our #1 priority. So wear a mask here on campus so that we can defend our paradise.
Thank you to our student government leaders for taking the time for How to FAU and our new students. Student government is truly a phenomenal opportunity to serve your student body, and the resources you all allocate to our students are tremendous. Student government has a very special place in my heart. I actually met my husband in the coffee room while we were both serving in student government. That was a long time ago, though. Now you all may remember during orientation day, we talked a lot about what it means to be owl ready and to protect our owl family. Two champions at FAU who work hard every day to keep us safe and responsible are up next. I have the pleasure of introducing Captain Irvin and Dean Pusey, who will be speaking to us about student safety at FAU and the COVID-19 reality we are living in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now all of you are part of the OWL family. We've been waiting for you. It's been a long time coming. But now all of you are all owls. You've taken some giant steps to get here. It's been a long, hard year with this COVID, but we appreciate you coming to the campus. We appreciate you choosing FAU. My name is Captain Larry Irvin. I work for the Florida Atlantic University Police Department, and I'm going to talk about a few things. I want you to understand that we are all a family now, so we have to protect each other. We have to protect the owl habitat. And one of the things I want you to understand is we have to do this together. We can't do this apart. We need all of each other's helps. I need your help every day, and I want you to make sure you contact the FAU Police Department for any safety needs, any security needs. We are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're a full service police department. Those of you coming from going to the Boca campus, to the Jupiter campus, welcome, you and your families. At this time, one of the things we want to stress is that we have to protect the owl habitat at all times. That means following the protocols for safety. So make sure that if you see something, say something. We just say hello to each other. Make sure you have your mask on. When you first come to campus, some of the things I want you to discuss with each other is how do you protect each other? And some of the things we have to protect is our safety. I want you to make sure you don't give your keys out. Make sure you don't give your owl card out to anybody. Make sure you document all of your items. If you're bringing something on campus, make sure you document the serial numbers, things of that nature. Don't get distracted by the neighborhoods. A lot of times we come to a neighborhood we don't know. So get to know the neighborhood, get to know the campus. If you're off campus, know your resources. And every single one of you have been talking to equity inclusion. You talk to emergency management. You talk to Dean of Students Office. We have resource numbers. Please refer to those numbers. Always go to those numbers. We have a victims advocate. Refer to those numbers. If you need help with anything at any time, that's what we're here for. We always smile at each other. You know why? Because we're all owls together. So if you see something, I want you to say something. That means you can contact my office by email. If you have to make a report, you have a silent witness place to make a report, call us. We are here to take any report at any time. Even if you just want to give us information, please call 297-3500. If there's a main emergency, you always know, call 911. One of the most important things is to remember, we have to stay connected. Now that we're owls and we're all owls together, whatever it is, call us. Off campus, on campus, however you're taking your classes, contact us. We will help you with anything. Don't get distracted. We're a full service police department. Make sure you check your app. On your phone, there should be an app for all emergencies. It's the Owl Ready app. Make sure you download it by now. Make sure you know your resources. Okay? And don't forget to call somebody if you need something. If you see me or any of my staff on campus, we're here to help you, regardless of what it is. Ask us. If you see any staff member from FAU, anyone's, we're all our families. We care about you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And like I said, don't let the outside come to the inside of the campus. Don't open the doors for people. Don't give away your owl card. Don't give away your car, your keys, your room keys. Don't give your personal information to anyone. I want you to enjoy this campus experience. I want you to enjoy college. College is tough, but I want you to enjoy it. And we are here together. Have a great experience. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. FAU Police Department's here for you. And don't forget, all of us are protecting owl habitat. I want you to go owls and take care of yourself. And thank you for spending a little time with me this morning. Welcome.
Well, hello, new owls. Happy 2021. My name is Audrey Pusey, and I serve as the Interim Dean of Students here at Florida Atlantic University. And before I get started, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Captain Urban. I know that he spoke just a few minutes ago, and Captain Urban and I have been longtime friends. I have a great deal of respect for both he and his men and women in blue who really do the best they can to keep us safe and to be great community service leaders here on our university campus. So much love to you, Captain Urban. Thank you for getting us started off. I wanted to go ahead and talk with you all about just some high points around COVID-19, keeping the campus safe. And I know that you're going to be getting a lot of information. One of the ways that you're going to be getting information is via a required course that you're going to need to take as a student. In fact, our faculty and staff, every community member on the university campus needs to take this COVID test. And it's not a test, I'm sorry, but the COVID course. And the reason for that is just to make sure you're educated on how the virus moves and some of the protocols, guidelines that we have on the university campus to keep everyone safe. So that is required. I wanted to give everyone a reminder. And as I talk about these things, I also want to remind everyone that our FAU.edu/coronavirus website is really the one-stop shop for all the information that I'm going to be giving you. There is a marketing campaign out right now called 21 for Spring 2021, and that gives a lot of information about anything that you can imagine that you want to learn about COVID-19 and guidelines and protocols on the university campus. So I encourage you all to go to that. But once again, I just really want to hit the high points to make sure that you're clear on some of the things that are extremely important as we move you into becoming an owl here on the university campuses. So as we talk about the required tests, there's also going to be an attestation process that happens. And what that means is that via your campus website, about 2 times a week, you're going to be required to just answer whether or not you're experiencing any symptoms related to COVID. The reason for that is we're doing some really succinct contact tracing here on the university campus, and that helps us to identify places that might be hot spots on the university campuses to keep us safe. If there is a situation where you might have come in contact with somebody, the health services office will outreach to you for resources and also for some continued testing. So I really want to encourage everyone that if you do get a call from health services, please be expedient about giving them a call back. I can tell you they've been doing a fantastic job, all our clinicians, but it has been a pretty exhausting job for them. So the best that we can do to help them out and make phone calls back if they do make contact with you in regards to any concerns, that is extremely, extremely helpful. I know that they'll appreciate that very much, as do I. A few things that I wanted to remind you all about is face coverings. So this is probably the most important, is that you're wearing your face coverings and you're wearing them correctly. And I know they're not the most comfortable thing, but this is extremely, extremely important. This is the best way that we can keep this virus at bay. And, I always tell folks, do it your way. You have rhinestones, whatever you got to do. I always try to, I feel pretty today because I don't know if y'all can see this well, but matches my outfit. So whatever you do that makes you feel good about wearing the mask, just do it the best that you can, and please make sure that you're wearing them and wearing them properly everywhere on the university campuses. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere except inside a personal vehicle, or if you're living with us residentially inside your residential room. Everywhere else, you need to have a face covering on campus. So please adhere to that. I can tell you one of the worst things that I have to do as a dean is remind folks to put the face coverings on. Doesn't make me feel good, doesn't make other folks feel good. So please do that for us here on the university campus, and hopefully out when you're in the community as well. So in addition to that, I wanted to remind everyone 6 feet distancing is important whenever you possibly can do so. So please adhere to that. And then I also want to remind everyone, just be washing and sanitizing your hands. Be diligent about that. Sanitizing your electronics, your phone as often as possible, keeping things as clean as possible. That's also going to cut down on some of the spread of this virus. I also wanted to remind folks, if you are looking to, be out and about on campus, please don't let the virus stop you from being out and about in a safe way. The campus rec, for example, is taking appointments where you can go and actually go get your workout on. And the reason for the appointments and the reservations is just to make sure the equipment is clean and ready for you to work out, and that it is spaced out in a way so that we don't have people kind of right on top of each other working out, so that it's very, very safe for you. So campus rec is certainly available to you. I want to just make sure, give them a plug that they are open and available. I also wanted to mention, when you're coming on campus, bring a water bottle with you, because for health and safety reasons, our water fountains are shut off right now. So it's really important that you have something with you to hydrate, and bring that on campus, since the water fountains are not working as they usually are. So I want to talk a little bit about just compliance related issues with COVID, because this is the part that's not so fun about talking about COVID is, well, I don't think anything's fun about talking about COVID, as a matter of fact, but if folks fail to adhere to guidelines, then there is follow-up from my office on that. If you're not wearing a facial covering and we receive a report about that, if you're not responding to health services and we receive a report about that, there is follow-up that happens as a result. So please make sure, once again, this is an OWL family. We really work in partnership with one another to keep one another safe. So my hope is that everyone is choosing to do those things of their own volition, and not because they feel that, the university is telling them that they have to do that. My hope is that we're doing it for one another as a family. So that all said, let me move into a couple exciting things that are happening on campus. We have 2 new residence halls, one on the Jupiter campus, one on the Boca campus, that are going to be opening soon. We have our office for Black student success and advocacy that is slated to open in February of this year. So we're like a month and a half away from that. Very excited. Great resources for our Black students here on our university campuses. In addition to that, if you haven't already checked out, this has been open for a little while, but we have an esports gaming center in the student union that just opened up just a few months ago, within the past year. Fantastic area. If you're into competitive gaming or not competitive gaming, you just like to go play, go check that out. In addition to that, I want to encourage you, don't let COVID damper all the adventures that you can have here. There's great opportunities for you to go be part of not football games now, but football games in the fall when they're back in action, even though they're still practicing. Basketball games, both men and women's. We've got volleyball, baseball, soccer, you name it. Some of these sports, their seasons got pushed back from the fall. So there's lots of opportunities to be out and about. Once again, following safety COVID guidelines, but you can be out cheering on our teams at the different sporting events that are happening on and around campus. So please do it safely, but please support the men and women that are out there playing all these wonderful sports. And of course, I hope that in fall 2021, our stadium is fully open back up and we're out cheering on our football team at that point. So fingers crossed. The last thing that I want to talk about is just the Dean of Students Office and some of the things that we offer here. Case management, we have victim services, our student conduct office for accountability pieces, really anything that you can imagine. If you can't get it in some other office, or there's some barrier to your success, we can certainly do the best we can to help you with that. So I do encourage you, our office is located above the food court and the coffee. There's really no excuse to not come and say hello. But if you're experiencing something that maybe, you've been ill with COVID for a couple of weeks and you've missed classes and you need somebody to call professors and you're just having a hard time catching up, contact us. Let's see what we can do to help you to get back on base again and make sure that your semester is successful. I know that some of you, your families have experienced financial difficulties. Some of you have experienced loss in your families. So if you're experiencing these type of issues, please come. This is a place of advocacy, of support. If we don't have the answer and the solution, we do the very best we can to find the answer and solution in another office for you on campus or in the community. And lastly, I just want to say once again, I'm so pleased that you all are here. So 2021, I have a feeling this is going to be a fantastic year. I can't wait to see what adventures that you all get into. I can't wait to see what type of life and heartbeat you bring to the institution. Every class brings something new. So thank you for allowing me to spend this time with you. I wish you the very best. I encourage you once again to look at the Corona website and make sure that you have all the information. Since I went over that very briefly, I encourage you to be involved. I encourage you to come up and bring me a coffee. And with that, I bid you adieu, and I hope to see you on campus shortly. Much love to you all.
Thank you so much, Captain Irvin and Dean Pusey. Maybe some of you even saw Captain, or as we love to call him, Old School, on campus as you were moving in. He truly is an exceptional owl. Same goes for our Dean Pusey. Take her up on the opportunity to bring her coffee. She's one of the wisest owls I would say we have among us. So thanks again, our colleagues across campus. Now you will hear from some of our partners from Counseling and Psychological Services. Sometimes we refer to this office as CAPS. So again, Counseling and Psychological Services, or CAPS, is about to share about some of their resources. Following CAPS, you will have the opportunity to hear from our Associate Vice President for Student Outreach and Diversity, Dr. Andrea Guzman. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to FAU. My name is Dr. Leonette Lee Copeland, and I'm one of the many counselors working at FAU's Counseling and Psychological Services, also known as FAU CAPS. I'm so excited to have this time to talk to you about our free and confidential services, and wanted you to know that we provide individual, couples, and group counseling as well as after-hours assistance. This means that 24/7, 365 days of the year, we have a clinician on call ready to support you. We also offer crisis management workshops and various mental health screenings. Should you want to learn more about us or our resources, look us up online. We can be found at www.fau.edu/counseling. You're also welcome to call us at 561-297-3540. Are you on social media? Well, so are we. We can be found on Instagram at FAU_CAPS. If you're on Facebook, we can be found at www.facebook.com/FAUCAPS. And we also have a YouTube channel with some very helpful videos already posted. Feel free to search FAU Counseling and Psychological Services once you get to the YouTube homepage. Thank you immensely for your attention. We look forward to supporting you, and we hope you have a phenomenal semester. Go Owls!
Welcome. I'm Dr. Andrea Guzman, and I have the privilege of serving as your Associate Vice President for Student Outreach and Diversity. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and ella. Diversity at Florida Atlantic University goes beyond the racial, ethnic, and physical demographics of our students. I like to say that it is much more than just skin deep. Diversity at FAU means that we recognize the inequities of society and work toward developing a teaching and learning environment that is welcoming, respectful, inclusive, and equitable, even when there is a difference in opinion or philosophy. With this in mind, we always look for opportunities to challenge ourselves, faculty, staff, and students to think critically and go beyond our own lived experiences and ideologies. And that's why I'm so excited to introduce our keynote speaker today, Dr. Bianca Nightingale Lee. She will begin to challenge the ways you view education and the world we live in. Dr. Nightingale Lee is an assistant professor in the Department of Curriculum, Culture, and Educational Inquiry here at FAU. She is a critical scholar who engages in the community. Her work focuses on academic, school, and community-based settings. Her research explores critical pedagogy as it relates to socially conscious, humanizing, and inclusive educational practice. Dr. Nightingale Lee's scholarship seeks to challenge and change the way we traditionally teach in order to produce equitable learning conditions for all students, but particularly students of color. Through her teaching, she is committed to preparing the next generation of educators to meet the demands of the 21st century learning needs, which reflect the racially, socially, and politically charged structures that shape education and the practical pathways that lead to anti-racist pedagogy. I hope you find Dr. Nightingale's keynote meaningful and educational.
By age 6, I lost my voice. By age 6, I knew I was dumb. I still have clear memories of being placed in the corner by my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Hannigan, because I couldn't color within the lines. I didn't recall information as quickly as other kids and easily became confused with trying to remember the order of my ABCs. Mrs. Hannigan made sure to remind me that I wasn't quite good enough by comparing my reading abilities with other students. I sat alone most days in kindergarten, but I'm unsure why. My mother and Mrs. Hannigan had a meeting about me, which ended with my mom grabbing my hand and storming out of the classroom. On our walk to the car, Mom's hand firmly clutching mine, we were silent. After the car door slammed, Mom sat quietly for a while, and I could see small tears fall from her eyes. I was never sure why Mom was so upset, but I knew it wasn't good, and I knew it was because of me. I soon found out that Mrs. Hannigan didn't feel I was ready for first grade and that she wanted me to be held back. Ms. Hannigan said that I needed to be tested for something called a learning disability. Though I didn't know the meaning of a learning disability, I heard these words a lot from my teachers, and I knew it was the reason why I had to go to a special class during reading time. I was 6, and I knew I was dumb. This vignette, though short and simplistic, speaks to my introduction to education. If I was retained in kindergarten, labeled with a learning disability in first grade, and tracked in the lowest reading group in second grade, why would I think academic achievement was a possibility for me? Carrying this burden of shame and incompetence, I traveled through my K-12 experience, calmly awaiting failure and mediocrity. Couple this with a 1980s curriculum predicated on traditionalized literacy practices, and you have the recipe for a voiceless student. My definition of a voiceless student is one who is subjugated to modes of inequitable educational practice that devalues their worth and marginalizes their voice and experience. Combating the projected realities of how teachers negatively viewed me through the lens of my disability was challenging to reconcile psychologically as well as emotionally. The message of inadequacy reflected by my early educational experiences carried debilitating consequences as I traveled through the world voiceless. However, my deficit narrative was interrupted within my first year of college when I entered into a college-level writing course. My professor, named Dr. Petra Orloff, and I have to say her name, didn't see me as an LD student. In her eyes, I was a capable being with valid thoughts and conjectures. She provided learning experiences that allowed me to speak my truth through expressive writing exercises, in which she validated my perspective and challenged my thinking. Though Dr. Orloff still stands as one of my most challenging professors, her tutelage and belief in me helped reconceptualize who I was as a student, as a learner, and as a writer. Psycholinguist Frank Smith says that all learning pivots on who we think we are and who we see ourselves as capable of becoming. This idea of becoming is extremely important, as the notion of becoming is a process that happens over time. We don't just wake up one day and be great. We work towards greatness. We put forth effort to become who we were meant to be by listening and learning from the lessons placed before us. For me, Petra Orloff's class was catalytic in my becoming, as it was a learning experience that helped me to see myself differently as a capable, valuable, and productive student. This one moment helped me realize the powerful platform that education could provide and propelled me to become a teacher. It was in this first year of college that I began to find myself. It was in this first year of college that I began to find my voice. My name is Dr. Bianca Nightingale Lee, and I am an assistant professor in the College of Education here at FAU. My work centers on critical pedagogy and hip-hop-based education. As your keynote speaker, I share my educational journey not to invoke pity, but to promote promise of a learning experience that may help you actualize your life's purpose, a learning experience that may help you become who you were meant to be, a learning experience that may help you find your voice and perhaps change the world. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you and your family to Florida Atlantic University. For me, it was my first year in college that opened the door to finding my voice. Now, 23 years later, I have accomplished a lot and overcome many of the obstacles placed before me in my educational career. The message I want to share with you today will provide some helpful hints on how to maximize your first year experience here at FAU through using the acronym VOICE, or VOICE. Now, like I said before, my work in education centers around hip-hop based education, which means I embed hip-hop into everything that I teach, and I see hip-hop in everything that I do. So for the next few minutes, I will be using some of my most favorite hip hop artists to think about our first year experience here at FAU. Does that sound cool? I hope your grandmother's in the room. It's going to be exciting. This is going to be fun, so let's go. So the V in VOICE acronym stands for vocalize. When I think about hip hop, I gravitate towards those artists and MCs that use their stage to put forth a message that critiques society, that betters their community, and challenges monolithic thinking. I resonate with conscious rappers like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Lauryn Hill, and the old Kanye West, because they use their celebrity to make critical commentary about the world in which we live in an effort to make it better. Each of you have overcome various obstacles, setbacks, challenges, and hurdles to make it to this point. You are meant to be here. This is not an accident. You have a new platform, a new stage, which to share your voice. Make sure that you say something and you vocalize your voice in a way that matters, that moves ideas forward, impacts your community, and perhaps your world in a powerful way. Moving on to the O in voice. The O stands for observe. One of my most favorite rappers is Kendrick Lamar. He has a song entitled Be Humble. In this song, Lamar talks about the importance of sitting down, falling back, and being humble. Humility is an important concept because it means that you have to stand back from a situation and observe what's going on. It's important to observe your friends, your surroundings, your situations, because when you are still, quiet, and observant, you are able to pick up on important lessons, which help you better understand the friendships and experiences that work best for you, and more importantly, the ones that do not work. Sometimes when things are going wrong, reacting is the last thing you should do. Just be still, be quiet, sit, be humble, observe the situation to figure out all of its angles first before making any decisions. This usually is the best option in solving problems. And I guarantee you, in your first year here at FAU, you are going to encounter some new experiences where you're going to need to just observe, right, before making any big decisions. The I in our acronym stands for imagine. It's important that as you embark on your college journey, you allow yourself to imagine where you want to be at the end of your college career. One of my new favorite female rap artists is named Chica. She has a song entitled High Rises. In this song, she talks about how she began dreaming beyond her current reality, imagining a life bigger than what she knew. So to activate your imagination, you have to ask big questions like, what do you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like? What kind of people do you want in your circle, and who no longer deserves a seat at your friendship table? What kind of career do you want? What are the experiences that you need to get this career, and how can you maximize your time at FAU to accomplish all that you imagine? While you may not be clear about your major right now, you can begin to make short-term goals for yourself based on how you imagine your life to be. This means having a vision for what you want to accomplish at the end of each course, each semester, and each academic year. You will find that as your vision crystallizes, you will begin to move through the world with greater intention, which allows your vision and your everyday actions to align to help you attain all that you imagine your life to be. Moving from here, let's go to C. The C stands for challenge. When I think about this idea of challenge, two artists pop into my head. One is J. Cole, and the other is Kanye West. So J. Cole has a song entitled Middle Child, where he recounts how people have counted him out, they've dissed him, they've talked about him, they belittle his character. However, through all of the external adversity he has experienced, he remains focused and steadfast and uses challenges to help him accomplish his goals. And he wants to accomplish goals that no one else ever thought he could achieve, right? So I want you to think about that in your life up to this point. I'm sure you've had what we would call quote unquote haters, right? But you use the energy from haters, you use the energy from challenging events to help you grow and change, right? It's this kind of work ethic that you'll need to push yourself past your level of comfortability. Facing challenges is often hard, but in your first year, you will be faced with various challenges that make you feel uncomfortable, sad, scared, and perhaps even unsure of yourself. My recommendation is to lean into these challenges because, as Kanye West says in his song Stronger, that don't kill you can only make you stronger. Now, Kanye didn't come up with this quote. How do I know that? Because my grandma used to say the same thing. So this idea of that which does not kill you only makes you stronger has been around for a long time, right? But the lessons in this idea is that the more you face challenges head on, the stronger and more resilient you will be to meet future challenges that will happen throughout your life, right? So this is a huge lesson for us to learn. And the final letter in our VOICE acronym stands for engage. Undoubtedly, you are entering your first year of college during very turbulent times, unprecedented times, considering there's a global pandemic to the likes of we haven't seen since 1918, right? An intense political climate in an important election year, as well as the racial and societal unrest to the likes that we haven't seen since the civil rights movement. This is a prolific time, right? There are so many things happening all around us. While this is true, I want you to remember to breathe. Do not let this first year be overshadowed by these momentary circumstances, as you do not want this moment in your life's history to slip through your hands. There is something extremely special about the spirit of FAU. As an academic, I've had the opportunity to work and visit institutions across the country. And I find that FAU has a certain spirit that is hard to find anywhere else. It's the culture, it's the campus, it's the people, it's the students that give off a certain vibe, a certain energy that is palpable and exciting to exist within. Your first year at college is precious and can help you flourish into who you were meant to become if you take advantage of the academic, social, and personal opportunities that await you here at FAU. Make sure as a new student you engage in the many opportunities, clubs, committees, and organizations offered. I can guarantee that engaging with these entities will teach you many lessons about yourself as well as others. Finally, as a student whose voice was stolen at a very young age, I hope that you use my educational journey and the advice I shared about your voice to activate your voice and to find your voice. And perhaps some of you maybe already have your voice. If you do, that is amazing. I'd like you to use this experience to activate that voice, to use it, to vocalize it, right? And so that means vocalizing what is important to you. Using your voices, observing situations and people around you to assess what is best for you. Using your voices, imagining a reality that is beyond your wildest dreams. Using your voice is challenging yourself to do hard things. Using your voice is engaging in the campus community to make an impact. Again, I welcome you to FAU and hope that you gain something from our time together. Remember to hold on to your voice, cultivate it, nurture it, and let it be heard, as your voice is the literal expression of your identity, the echoing of the self. If you can't talk about what you believe in a way that feels natural, you can become alienated from your inner self. You're no longer able to express who you truly are. With that, I bid you adieu, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
All right. An amazing professor here at FAU. Thank you, Dr. Nightingale Lee, for sharing your personal and professional experiences with our students and families and how they can best take action in supporting student success this spring. Now, families, at this time, you will be joining me and the family engagement team at our Family Success Conference. The easiest way to get to our family session is to look below the stream you're viewing right now and click on the link that says Family Engagement Conference. All the login info is right below it. So at this time, families, let's go ahead, start transitioning to the Family Success Conference. I will see you all very soon. Now I will leave you with Allison Rogers Zapata and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Daniel, as well as Dr. Burke for earlier giving our great introductions. So goodbye, families. Enjoy the Family Success Conference. We were really grateful for you to be here in our main stage through the first part of our program today. As Daniel mentioned, my name is Allison Rogers Zapata, and I serve as the Associate Director for New Student Transitions and Family Engagement. And students, we have 2 more main stage speakers before we transition into our resource breakout session. So our next session is going to explore our first year checklist. And as you start your semester, this checklist is going to help track your experiences. Research shows that students who reach these milestones in your first year are more likely to graduate on time, which we definitely want to do, as well as enjoy your university experience. So by completing this list, you not only can maybe meet your own expectations, but actually exceed your expectations of what college life can truly be. So as you complete each item, you will answer a question and then receive a green mark. And your goal is to have a green mark checked by each item by the end of your first year. So now we're going to learn a little bit more from our Academic Success Initiatives team about first year checklist. Thank you so much to our Academic Success Initiatives team. As you may have seen on that very last slide, our students have already received an invite through your Canvas course to join the first year checklist. So make sure to click that accept button and start checking off those items. And just so students know as well, while campus may look a little different here this spring semester, there are still many opportunities, both virtually and in person, to connect to both students as well as the whole FAU community. Next up, I have the pleasure to introduce our next session, Student Technology. We regularly hear from our first year students what's available to me as a student here at FAU. So Patrick Dempsey, our Assistant Director for e-learning, is here to teach us a few tips and tricks. So welcome, Patrick.
Greetings. I hope everything is well with everyone today. I'm so excited to be here to present on online student success and student technology. My name's Patrick Dempsey. I'm the Assistant Director for eSuccess in the Center for Learning and Student Success. Without any further ado, let's get into the presentation. Alrighty, so this presentation is entitled Online Student Success, Expectations, Technology, and Resources. So we're really gonna kind of move from the theoretical to the practical in this presentation and give you some tips, strategies to get up and running with online courses this semester. So to get to know each other a little bit more, my name's Patrick Dempsey. Like I said, I'm the Assistant Director for eSuccess in the Center for Learning and Student Success. I'm a 2-time FAU alumnus, go Owls. Been here 7 years as a professional staff member. I transferred to FAU from what's now called Palm Beach State College, right next door. I was a non-traditional student. I completed my degree while working full-time. I was once an online course novice. I took my first online class at FAU, and now I'm in a career position at FAU to help students be successful in online classes. Alrighty, so our objectives in this presentation. Like I said, we're going to move from the theoretical to the practical in this. So when the rubber hits the road for your semester, you have some strategies and awareness of technology that's available to be successful. So today you're going to hear about online learning at FAU. You're going to learn some tips and strategies on how to be successful in an online course. We're going to explore some common technology used in online courses, and we're going to lastly discuss FAU student support resources. So let's dive right in. Learning a little bit about online learning at FAU. So FAU, as you know, is a large institution. We have about 30,000 plus students. And these numbers on this slide are all pre-COVID-19. So pre-COVID-19, we had about 10,000 enrollments in online courses each semester. In fact, in 2019, 66% of students at FAU took at least one online course. We have partially and fully online degree programs. We have fully, partially online courses. And those are open enrollment to students that are in face-to-face degree programs as well as fully online programs. And we have multiple offices here at FAU dedicated to online student support. Now, what does this mean? Okay, this means that we've been doing online learning for a while, so you can expect as we transfer into this expectation session that FAU has your back when it comes to online learning. And know that so many students, just like you, have taken and succeeded in online courses here at FAU. Online learning is a big part of who we are at FAU. We didn't go into online learning overnight. We've been doing this. We have resources in place for you to be successful, and you can be successful. And this brings me to a quick point just to check in with you and see how your mindset is about online learning. You know, this might be your semester taking your first online course. Maybe you did some online coursework in high school, but college will be a little bit different. And the spring 2021 semester will be a little different given how courses are while the pandemic plays out across the United States. So things are going to be maybe a little bit challenging, maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit uncomfortable. And this is where this mindset comes in of a fixed versus a growth mindset. You need to really get away from having a fixed mindset. Examples of that would be, I'm not good at online learning, or I'm never going to be successful in my online courses. There's no way that I can succeed at FAU while we're in this period of online learning. Those are all kind of fixed mindset. You're not realizing your potential to growth. We as human beings have amazing potential for growth. So we always have to shift to having this growth mindset of, hey, you know, maybe this is my first online course, but I can put in the work, and there are the resources available to help me grow and be a successful online student, be a successful student at FAU. Okay, now we're going to segue into some tips for online academic success. These come from me working with students over the 7 years I've been here in this position. The first is own your experience. So whether you like it or not now, you're an online student. So you really have to take ownership of your learning experience. And to do that, it's recommended that you log into each course at least a few times a week, diligently monitor communications from your professors, and spend at least 8 hours per week on each of your courses. Yes, 8 hours per week on each of your courses. That's why we say a full-time student is a full-time student. It's like having a full-time job. The next is to set realistic expectations. So you may have heard a lot about online learning. It may have been different in high school. It may be different if you're joining FAU from elsewhere, but don't assume that your transition to online learning will grant you ample free time. That is a common trap that students get into. In order to be successful in online courses, you need to spend as much time, if not more sometimes, and put forth the same amount of effort as you would in a traditional face-to-face class. The next is to understand Canvas and other educational technology. And we're really going to get into that in this presentation. So this will give you a jump start to understand Canvas and technology. But all courses at FAU are delivered through Canvas, which is our learning management system. So it's very important that you know that system and other systems such as online meeting platforms, because many online courses have lectures that are delivered via WebEx or recorded video, and they reside in Canvas, but you have to be familiar with the technology in order to access the lectures or course resources. Next is to develop a study space. So this one can be particularly challenging, especially in the times that we're living now, because a lot of us are at home, we're learning at home, we're working at home. But developing a study space is a very crucial piece of your academic success, especially when you're taking online classes. Learning outside of the classroom, it can be difficult if you don't have this go-to space to sit and work uninterrupted. And you want to make sure that your location has stable internet connection. If you don't have stable internet connection, at the end of the presentation, I'll share our contact information. Our office has free hotspot loans. So if you need internet, we can loan you a device for the semester to get you connected. But develop a habit of having a space where you can work uninterrupted for long periods of time and really get into the coursework. Last but not least is to know your resources. And you're already getting a jump start on that during this How to FAU conference. FAU wants you to succeed academically now and for your whole academic career at FAU. So as an online student, it's very important that you know of the resources that are available. I'm going to cover a lot of those resources in the last section of this presentation. Okay, so some practical success strategies. These are based off of a student survey that was conducted for first-year students. So these are a lot of the common responses that we saw. Just some tips and strategies from students like you on how to be successful, okay? So practical success strategies. The first is to create a master calendar for the semester with all your readings, all your assignments, all your exams. Put everything on there. And don't rely on the Canvas to-do list. And I'll talk a little bit more about the Canvas to-do list when we get to the technology section. The next is to download, read, and save a digital hard copy of your course syllabus. That's really your roadmap for the course. In addition to a course schedule in the syllabus, there should be all the grading policies, the textbook that you need, the professor's contact information, and all of the expectations for the course. The next is to treat your courses as if they were in person. So treat online courses as if they're in person. So that's an interesting statement. But what I mean by this is just scheduling consistent blocks of time to work on each class. So that way you're not losing time, you're not neglecting your online course. The next, if financially feasible, and I know we all have bills to pay, so this one comes with an asterisk. Adjust your work schedule if it's really interfering with your coursework, whether that means adjusting your hours to different times of the day or cutting back a little bit. There's only so much time in the day, and if you want to be successful in college, you have to prioritize your success and you have to give yourself the time to be successful. The next is don't casually browse course content on Canvas or whatever you're looking at, like you're browsing Instagram or another social media app or TikTok. You can't just casually browse through things and be successful in college. You actually have to put in the time with real learning and studying. The next is introduce yourself to your professor during the first week. Even if it's an online class, keep in touch. You never know when you're going to need a faculty recommendation for graduate school, or if something is going to come up later in the semester and you're going to need to reach out to the faculty member, it'll make that less awkward. The last is to message your classmates to form virtual study groups so you don't completely fall off the map online. Take initiative, and this can also help meet other students in the class. Alrighty, real quickly before we change gears, I just want to go over the course formats for the spring 2021 semester. What you see on here is on the registrar's page. You should see it when you go to register for courses. There's a lot of different course formats that are being offered now, from fully online class with a live lecture to a fully online class, all the way to a face-to-face class. Now, regardless of what you register for, most classes should have an option for you to attend the course remote if you're uncomfortable being in the classroom at this point in time. So it's super important to take a look at this when you register for courses. And I'm going to show you in the next slide here, when you're looking at courses, if you're on the FAU course schedule, you can see instructional method of the courses should correspond to that table that you saw on the previous slide. So you can see ahead of time before you register if something's in person, if it's fully online with a live lecture, if it's just fully online, if it's part in person, part online, attendance optional, attendance mandatory. You should be able to see all that stuff in the course details and the instructional method. And then just a quick tip here, when you're on the searchable schedule, you can actually filter by instructional method when you search. So if you're looking for that fully online class with a live lecture, you should see that option there, and then you can see what's available for you to register. Alrighty, let's change gears. So we went over the expectations. Let's dive into the technology. Going to go over the most common hardware, internet, and software kind of that you need to be successful at FAU. So these are the basic technology requirements. So for hardware, you need a recent desktop computer, laptop, or maybe tablet. Hopefully you have that, maybe tablet. Don't really recommend Chromebook because there are some compatibility issues with online proctoring software. There's some compatibility issues with other software that FAU uses. So really a desktop, a laptop, of course a Mac will do fine. You might be able to get by with the iPad Pro, but there's going to be some compatibility issues as well. Having a headset with a microphone so you can participate in live online meetings. Also having a webcam have it be audio enabled for remote proctoring softwares or for doing live meetings like this. For internet, you need stable, high-speed internet access. That's pretty much a given in this day and age, but that's really, really important for taking online courses. And then software, and we're going to go through software in this presentation, but you need Microsoft Office, internet browser, Chrome, Safari, or Mozilla Firefox work best. And then apps if you're using a mobile device. So Canvas has an app, Google Drive has an app, and we'll get into some of those technologies very soon here. All right, the first technology that's absolutely essential, the first software program is obviously Microsoft Office. So this includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Publisher. FAU is part of Microsoft's Advantage program. So you get this for free. You don't need to buy Microsoft Office. You get it for free. You can download the licenses on up to 5 PCs, or there's the cloud version, and it's always free when you're an active student. There's also OneDrive that gives you 1 terabyte of storage. I've put a QR code here to the Microsoft website, and each of these slides I'm going to have a QR code, so you could scan it right now while I'm delivering the presentation, and you can bookmark that resource so you have it for you for the semester. The next is Google Apps. So Google has a a lot of apps. Some of them are similar to the Office apps. Some of them are a little different. But you have this for free through FAU. So it's through your FAU email. So if you go to your FAU email, which you should know, hopefully you've accessed it by now, is Gmail. If you click on the little Rubik's Cube, that's what I call the icon next to your name or your picture where it says Al Apps, that's in the upper right-hand corner. You can access all of the Google apps through your Gmail, through that portal. And the Google apps include live collaboration on docs, sheets, and slides, which are similar to the Microsoft applications. But the nice thing about docs, sheets, and slides is you can collaborate with others in real time. So that's super helpful if you have group projects. You can create a professional course portfolio on sites. So there's a website feature to publish your work or publish your resume online. That could be something when you're looking for an internship you can use to really wow your potential employer. You can meet with your peers on Google Meet, which is a meeting software very similar to Skype, very similar to WebEx or Zoom. And last but not least, you can store all of your course documents, data, whatever you have in Google Drive, and it allows you to share those documents with others through the Google network. So this QR code will lead you to the Google Drive suite. Alrighty, online presentation software. So I'm not going to go too in depth here. You need to know that in courses at FAU, you may be required to do an online presentation. And those online presentations may take different forms depending on what the professor asks for. So it could be live, like in a live video conference. You could do recorded with screen sharing, which is very similar to what you're viewing now. It could be recorded with voiceover, which would be like what you're viewing now, but you wouldn't see me at all. So there would just be the narration plus Google Slides or plus a PowerPoint. Or you could do recorded without screen sharing, which would just be basically you talking, and then the people that are listening or watching, they would have to have the slide deck separately. So as you can see, you can use different technology solutions for each of these different kinds of presentations. My two favorite by far, I put on here on the screen on the QR code, Prezi and Screencast-O-Matic. Prezi has a cool feature where you can deliver a presentation where you see yourself in the presentation window, but the graphics come up on the screen. I kind of call it a weatherman approach to the presentation. It looks really, really neat. And the next is Screencast-O-Matic, which is a screen capture software that allows you to also share your video and your webcam. There's a free version and there's a paid version that's not too much money. It's super important, though, to follow your professor's preferred format. Like I said, nothing is worse than creating an online presentation that has all these bells and whistles. You're super proud of it, you submit it, and you get a one-line response from your professor that says, please resubmit in my preferred format using this technology, or even worse, one email that says, I don't know how to use the technology that you've given. So check your syllabus, check in with your faculty member for the online presentations. Okay, like I said before, FAU uses Canvas. That's FAU's learning management system. So that's what's used to deliver online course content here at FAU. What you see here is what the screen when you log in. You should come up with your dashboard, which is all the courses that you're registered in, and then you can click into each of your courses. Now, the left-hand side navigation menu there is how you really navigate through Canvas. So that's where you have your dashboard, courses, there's a calendar in there. There's an inbox, which is a separate messaging function within Canvas where you can message your professor, you can message your fellow students in there. Help icon, that's what I wanna focus on, super important. That question mark is super important. that icon, the little house, it's a tech how-to, and then resources. So help and the resources are very important. And through that help button, you can connect with Canvas support, which is 365, 24/7. You can call them, you can chat them, you can email them. And there's also a variety of guides in there to help you be successful with technology. Some are similar to this presentation, some are different. Last but not least, Canvas Tour for Students. That's my QR code here. You have to check it out. If you're completely unfamiliar with Canvas, this Tour for Students is a Canvas course that is designed specifically to get you acclimated to Canvas, so you can be successful when you're live in your courses during the semester. Okay, so it's super important to schedule your time in college. I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that throughout your day, but using a calendar app or a book is really helpful. My favorite is Google Calendar, and you should really be putting everything on here. So that's assignments and exam dates, study time. Remember the 8 hours per week per course, self-care, so working out, eating, volunteering, on-campus commitments, even relaxation time. I know that sounds a little extreme, but trust me, if you go through that and build the habit of doing that, you'll be much more efficient with your time. You see my calendar on here. That was my calendar. It's pretty full, right? So it really gives you awareness of what you're spending your time on if you put everything on there, so you can be most efficient. My link is to my favorite online calendar app here. The QR code is for Google Calendar. Okay, online meeting solutions. So your courses may be delivered. You might have an online live lecture. You might have study groups where you want to use an online meeting solution. FAU primarily uses three. So we have Zoom, we have Cisco WebEx, and we have Google Meet. And these are Zoom and Cisco WebEx can be in Canvas, and Google Meet is through the Google Suite, which we talked about previously. My link here is to the FAU Zoom portal, where you can go in as a student and host your own meetings, invite friends to a study group, record presentations even, and really explore all that Zoom has to offer as an online meeting platform. Quick tip on online meetings: it's always a good idea to have an agenda, to have deliverables, so items that people are actually bringing to the meeting that they worked on, and even sometimes to have minute logs, just to make sure that your meetings are as efficient as possible and you know what was covered in each meeting. Okay, online library resources. So you should know that during the period of remote learning, whether you're on campus or you're off campus, the FAU library is here to support you. You can access all of the library resources for your course projects. They've done an excellent job in making resources available. There is an off-campus connect function that will let you connect to all the FAU online journals and databases. And you really want to check out their website, which is the QR code here. It's lib2go. That's the website. It has everything on there that they're doing during this period of remote learning for you to access all library resources. They even have curbside delivery where you can drive up to the Boca campus if you need a physical text that's not online, and they'll bring it out to you. So it's very helpful. So be sure to check out their website. Alrighty, and last but not least, resources for your success. Like I told you, there's a variety of resources at FAU here for you to be successful while you're taking your online courses, or even if you're in face-to-face courses, we're here to support you through your educational journey. All right, so I work in the Center for Teaching and Learning, and this slide just has an overview of all of the resources that we have. We specialize in peer facilitated academic support. So all these services really are FAU students that we train that help other FAU students with difficult course content through online supplemental instruction, through online tutoring, through an online math learning center, through an online University Center for Excellence in Writing, and through, last but not least, tech literacy coaching, which is my area. So you can really get help with all of your courses in the Center for Teaching and Learning, whether you're attending a group tutoring session or going to the Math Learning Center where they help with all math courses, or going to the University Center for Excellence in Writing where they can help with any aspect of the writing process, to coming to me for tech literacy coaching where I can help with any software at FAU. There's something in our center for you. So please check us out. Our services have proven to be effective. Students that attend our services 6 or more times during a semester have proven that they get half to a whole letter grade better. So these services do work. We encourage you to utilize them early and often. Alrighty, so there is a Keep Learning website at FAU, and that's the QR code here. This is a lot of the information that we covered in this PowerPoint, but well beyond that, this is really the website that you should go to, the authoritative resource, if you will, the FAU Keep Learning page. It has everything you really need to know to keep learning during this period of remote instruction. So I've put the QR code here. Be sure to check it out. It updates rather frequently, so this is your a good source of information if you want the most current technology help or the most current up-to-date news on FAU. Alrighty, and that's just about it. And I know that I covered so much today during this presentation. I just want to extend the invitation to continue this conversation. So let's continue to talk about this, how you can be successful in your online class, how you can be successful with the technology. Reach out to me in the Center for Learning and Student Success. You can email esuccess@fau.edu. You could give us a call at 561-297-0906. I've even put my personal email on here, pdempsey2@fau.edu. If you have any questions about anything we covered today, if you need a hotspot for internet, remember, please reach out to me, contact me, and I'll be happy to meet with you one-on-one or help you in any way I can. Listen, from a fellow OWL, I just want to thank you so much for tuning into my presentation. This has been a true pleasure. I wish you the best on your academic journey at FAU, and I hope to see you back on campus sometime soon. Thanks. Go Owls.
Thank you so much, Patrick, for showing us how to best utilize technology that's available for our first-year students. So much great information was shared there, including QR codes. So I'm hoping our students took advantage of those QR codes to be able to go on your technology adventures after today's conference. Please note that Patrick's office is located in Center for Teaching and Learning, as he mentioned. So that's on the second floor of the Breezeway. So if you know where the Starbucks is, you're within walking distance of that space. So again, cannot emphasize enough, if you need a hotspot, then the class office is there for you. Maybe you're also having difficulty either with your own personal computer or laptop, or maybe you do not have access to one. Please take note that our university libraries has rental options, as well as the library is open. So you are able to utilize the first floor in that space to utilize the technologies that Patrick has just mentioned. So up next, we are going to learn how you can take action in your first semester. And so a question that many of our students have asked me throughout orientations are, how do I get involved? Especially if I'm staying virtual, or maybe I'm only going to be on campus a few times a week. So we are going to hear from our University Career Center, Wepner Center for Service Learning, as well as Campus Recreation, who are going to tell you what's available to you right now as first-year students starting this spring. So without further ado, we're going to learn from our Career Center.
It's never too early to start thinking about how to build toward a successful future, and the FAU Career Center is a great place to help you get started.
We help students build toward their future. So whether they are deciding on a major, a career, or looking for an internship or a job, or trying to build their professional network, learn about top skills for employers are looking for, or considering graduate school, we can help.
Number one, we're in college to get a degree, to obviously get hired, have a career, start your own business, whatever it may be. Take advantage of the resources that FAU has for you. The Career Center was instrumental in getting me prepped for these things, basically my major all the way through my career. Take advantage.
You can meet with a nationally certified Career Center professional to discuss majors and career options, to polish your resume and cover letter, create a LinkedIn profile, search for internships and jobs, or apply to graduate school.
First FAU Career Center service that I used was actually the review process for my resume and my CV. So I actually sent that in before I applied to jobs, and that was really, really helpful. They really gave me some great edits on it, and I was able to make a resume that I was really proud of.
Once you have your resume set and ready to go and have practiced your elevator pitch, you'll want to make sure to take advantage of the many exciting career events, workshops, career fairs, and expos available on all of the FAU campuses.
The FAU Career Center prepared me for my job with helping me review my resume, with helping prepare an elevator pitch as well as professional attire. Going to the FAU Career Fair, I was able to network and meet with a lot of different employers. That's where I was able to actually meet with City Furniture and learn all about the manager and training program, and that's where I ended up eventually joining and starting my career.
From choosing a major, or finding an all-important internship or other experiential learning opportunities, to landing your first full-time professional position, the FAU Career Center is here to help you make it happen and build toward a great future. So don't wait. Claim your Handshake account, set up a profile, and connect with the FAU Career Center today.
I'm here at the Unity Canopy, and we're creating a visual of diversity on campus. So every student starts at the I'm an Owl identity, and there's 21 different identities around that showcase different identities that students have and that they share and have in common. So everything from I'm a commuter, to I'm the first in my family to go to college, paying for college on my own, etc. And it creates a visual of a canopy to show students that they're not alone. It also has an open identity where they can write I am and fill in whatever identity that they choose to show all the diversity here at FAU.
Hello, my name is Marlon Lopez, and I am the Associate Director within the Center for Ideas, and I oversee the Office of Hispanic Latinx Initiatives and Futuro Success Program here at FAU. And so this is the first time that we, as the Division of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, kind of have this Unity Canopy event that's in conjunction with the Owl Involved event. And so we are bringing to the forefront what our programs and services are, so that current and new students can become involved and be successful here at FAU.
Guys, Campus Rec is back, but with new protocols to protect your OWL family. For starters, everything comes with a reservation, the pool, and even the machines. If you go to OWL Rec's webpage, click what you want to reserve and register. Yep, that's simple. Masks are required at all times, and workouts are solo. This includes spotters. Water fountains are closed, so remember to bring your own water. Group fitness is back. Get your sweat on with our instructors in person or virtually. In-person classes are limited to 9 participants and are on the basketball courts. Doors close 5 minutes after the start of each class, so don't be that guy. The Campus Rec team is here to get you moving and healthy in a safe way.
See you soon, Owls. So thank you so much to our Career Center for sharing about our resume reviewing, job interview practice, how to explore internships and experiential learning, and also our professional closet with professional attire. So thank you so much as well to our Wepner Center, who showcased their Unity canopy. However, a Wepner Center really is there for service projects and service learning. And so actually coming up here soon on MLK Day, Wepner Center will be hosting an MLK Day of Service. So if you would like to register, highly recommend you register now as seats are filling up. And please keep in mind that the service projects are available both virtual and in person. In person is physically distanced, and as you've heard multiple times today, wearing your mask. And our campus recreation, they are opened by appointment only. Students who attended our in-person orientation days were able to take a tour of the facilities. So for students that attended through the virtual orientation days, you did get a bit of a campus recreation break. But if you do want to take a look at facilities, they are open through appointments. Let us know if you have any questions regarding campus recreation. And now, as you see here, we are headed into our next phase of the day. As a reminder, I know you heard this from Dr. Burke as well as Daniel earlier today. Please complete your virtual orientation course on Canvas if you have not already done so. A reminder has definitely been sent both to your email as well as a phone call. Remember, if you do not complete those courses, or rather that course, you will be dropped from your spring courses by Monday. Next, students also, you will see as you scroll to the bottom of your webpage that there are remarks from Dean Pratt, who's the Dean of our Undergraduate Studies. And he is sharing a little bit about the freshman chord. So again, for students that attended in-person orientations, you've already received those chords, but for students that attended our virtual, please make sure to watch that as well as follow the instructions on how to get your chord. And as Dr. Verk mentioned earlier, please use the Need Help Just Ask text line on Monday and Tuesday of this week during their designated times. Now, students, please scroll to your event website just directly below where we are at right now, and you will see our resource breakout sessions. So you can learn a little bit more about the first year checklist. You can learn a little bit more about student involvement, academic success, and more. Please note that you can select and identify one session that you'd like to attend live, and then all sessions will be recorded and made available on the website early this next week. And following our resource session, this is where we want to make sure folks know what classes they're enrolled for already this spring, because closing out our day will be 2 different closing sessions. For students who are enrolled for the I Succeed program, that's SLS 1410, you will be attending your very first welcome with your instructors in that space. And for students who are enrolled in either pre-law, career and life planning, or maybe you identify as a transfer student, you will be attending our general closing session to learn a little bit more about how you can incorporate your personal values here in the FAU community. If you have any questions, any concerns, please contact our office at 561-297-2733 or email us at howtofau@fau.edu. Please note that we do have about a 10-minute break now until our resource sessions start at 1:40. So please feel free to step away from your computer for maybe about 5 minutes or so, grab water or coffee, and then we'll meet back here to start promptly, again, in those Zoom links at 1:40 p.m. Welcome to your first day of the spring semester, and go Owls.